Welcome back to The Explainer, everyone. Today, we are diving into some seriously fascinating source material that poses a wild, provocative idea. What if our afterlife isn't dictated by some giant external judgment day, but is actually being built directly by our everyday mindset right here, right now? We're going to unpack some profound spiritual philosophies that suggest the very thoughts you are thinking at this exact moment are actively shaping your future spiritual reality. It is an absolutely powerful concept, and I'm super excited to get into it with you today. Okay, let's look at our roadmap for today. First, we'll cover how your thoughts define you. Then, we'll look at the trap of hell. In part 3, we'll explore the keys to actually escape that trap. And finally, we'll talk about cultivating a positive mind. All right, starting right off with section 1, your thoughts define you. Before we jump into the text's wisdom, I really want you to think about this for a second. Who are you, really? If you strip away your job title, your physical body, your bank account, what is actually left at your absolute core? What is the true nature of a human being? Take a mental pause and just let that ancient question sink in. Because the source material we're analyzing today gives us a remarkably sharp answer. The original text comes right out and says it. A human's true identity is literally just their thoughts. That's it. Our physical bodies don't define us at all. It boils down entirely to our internal mental landscape. What you choose to focus on, the everyday attitudes you adopt, those quiet little beliefs you hold when absolutely no one else is watching, that is the real you. Which brings us to section 2, the trap of hell. Now, if our thoughts are our true reality, we've got to be incredibly careful here. If our mental landscape gets polluted, it can morph into a literal trap. The author gives us a very stark warning, pointing out that people with, quote, stubborn personalities who hold deep grudges easily become ghosts or hell spirits after death. So the text suggests that hell isn't necessarily a fiery pit created by an angry deity. Actually, scratch that. It's more like a DIY psychological prison built entirely by our own inability to just let things go. And the source explicitly connects the stubborn mind to becoming a lingering earthbound spirit. Chronic complaining, repeating the exact same grievances for years, clinging to strong attachments, all of this creates a super heavy frequency. People who just cannot forget their resentments are literally tying themselves down because they refuse to adopt a clear, forgiving state of mind. So the crucial point here is recognizing the huge difference between these two paths. We have the liberated mind, which is fully capable of self-reflection. It looks inward to fix its own mistakes and naturally wants to grow spiritually. But then we have the hellish mind. The text defines the fundamental essence of hellish spirits as pure self-centeredness. Instead of looking in the mirror to see where they went wrong, they just project all their misery outward. And honestly, this leads to a pretty chilling realization detailed in the source. Rather than reflecting on their own flaws, these miserable spirits actively try to pull the living down into their despair. Why? Just to feel validated. Misery loves company, right? They want to increase their numbers so they don't have to face their pain alone. It shows exactly why honest self-reflection is an absolute non-negotiable necessity if we want to avoid falling into this toxic gravitational pull. Okay, so let's shift gears to section 3, keys to escape hell. If hell is essentially a psychological trap made out of stubbornness, how do we break the lock? Well, the source hands us the exact tools, starting with impermanence. To demystify this classic Buddhist concept for a second, it's simply the realization that absolutely everything in the world is constantly changing. Nothing lasts forever. Not your wealth, not your status, and definitely not that offense someone committed against you a decade ago. Realizing that is the ultimate cure for holding a grudge. I mean, why hold on to something with a death grip when it's destined to fade away anyway? The second tool here is non-self. This is the realization that there is no permanent independent ego. The text explains that practicing non-self lets us detach from all those worldly obsessions. Once we realize our ego is kind of just an illusion, we free ourselves from the very thing that could so easily offend it and stubborn in the first place. Think about it. You can't trap a mind that refuses to make everything about me, me, me. And the result of actually using these tools? You arrive at a state of nirvana. The author describes this as a realm of absolute quiet and a perfectly pure state of mind. It's serene. It's unpolluted consciousness. By simply letting go of that stubbornness, embracing impermanence, and dissolving the ego, your mindset naturally elevates right into this beautifully clear, peaceful frequency. And that brings us to our final part, section 4, cultivating a positive mind. Because listen, just letting go of the negative is really only half the battle. We have to actively replace those empty spaces with proactive, positive thoughts. And the author recommends this fascinating method: overcoming that secret, sometimes toxic desire to see other people fail. The text notes that almost everyone has a tiny bit of that dark feeling deep down. But if you can consciously choose to bless the success of others instead, your own life becomes vastly easier. It's basically the ultimate shortcut to your own happiness. The author shares a great personal anecdote here about their own youth, talking about how they used to feel inferior when comparing themselves to others. But the massive breakthrough they had was realizing that switching from painful envy to a genuine, heartfelt congratulations completely changes the game. When you celebrate successful people sincerely, you elevate your mindset totally out of those hellish frequencies. You align yourself with the energy of success instead of the energy of lack. So, let's break this down into 3 super actionable takeaways from our explainer today. Step 1. Sincerely bless the success of others. Just kill that ego-driven jealousy on the spot. Step 2. Stop comparing and find your own unique path in life. What is your individual reason for being? And step 3. Continuously improve yourself on that exact path. These 3 steps are the ultimate blueprint for maintaining a liberated, heaven-bound mindset every single day. To wrap all of this up into one major thesis, your mindset determines your spiritual reality, period. The true nature of a human being is their thoughts. If you choose stubbornness, holding grudges, and self-centeredness, you're literally building your own hell. But if you practice letting go, recognize that things change, and actively cultivate real joy for others, you create a heavenly state of mind right here on Earth and beyond. You hold the keys to the whole shebang. So I want to leave you with this one provocative question to chew on today. Whose success can you sincerely bless right now to break free from self-centeredness? Think of one person, maybe shoot them a text, or just hold that really positive thought in your mind for a minute. Apply this lesson today and just watch how it shifts your reality. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this sparked some curiosity for you, and I'll catch you next time as we continue to break down more fascinating ideas. Keep learning and keep growing.